Hello everyone! Today, a new Grandmaster experience came out, always very exciting for me. We have Psiops Battleground Moon as a Nightfall, and it is a bit of a tougher experience than you're used to, kind of akin to the Mars Battleground experience that we had last season. I'd like to show you how my team ended up handling this place pretty easily, and what you can do to make the experience a bit smoother for you and your team. In terms of loadouts and classes and all that, I can again recommend Strand Titan very heavily, since this has Unstops and Barrier champs, and Strand Titan is quite good at tackling those experiences. My team was 1-1-1 with a Well of Radiance Cenotaph Warlock on Divinity, making a bunch of power ammo, and a Void Hunter on Gyrfalcon's Hauberk, although something like Orpheus is going to work just fine. Void Hunters are incredibly strong in here, as there are a lot of enemies to kill and you're going to have a lot of tether opportunities as a result. Well of Radiance is also really nice for pretty much everywhere in this strike, but if you wanted to run something like Osmiomancy, that's fine too if you happen to have multiple Warlocks. If you want to have someone on Aeons, that's also a very good idea, as there are a lot of champions to kill. Weapon-wise, I ran with my usual Quicksilver Storm, a Waveframe Grenade Launcher, and a Machine Gun. I did not think a rocket was really necessary, and given how much heavy ammo I was able to use, I think Machine Gun works incredibly well. Waveframes are also amazing here. Enemies tend to bunch up quite a lot, and you can kill giant waves of enemies with a single Grenade Launcher shot. In terms of other primaries, I've heard good things about Wishender. Quicksilver is fantastic. You could probably use Osteo-Striga. Just make sure you're using an exotic primary if you can help it. If you don't have a Well of Radiance, then I could potentially suggest rockets, mainly for the final boss, since you're going to want some way of dealing with the boss in all of the chaos without a well, but I have not tested it myself, so feel free to comment down below if you have some sort of a non-Well of Radiance strategy that worked very well for you. Mod-wise, I ran with one of each elemental resistance, but for the final boss, if you wanted to load up on arc resistance, specifically 2 of them, I think that's a good call to make, especially combined with like concussive dampener. Otherwise, just mod as your build demands it. I'm not really going to be going into build crafting for this place. You know, you can check out the guides if you really want more advice on building. This first section, I don't have a ton of advice for, as it's very linear. There's only one place you can go. You walk up, you kill stuff, and then you walk up some more. There's not anything rushing you here. It's mainly a matter of just killing champions efficiently. There's no need to play aggressively. There's a decent amount of cover to play around. The main thing I think you need to look out for are just unstoppable champions who can get some angles to beam the hell out of you if you're not in cover. After the first wave of enemies you fight, you're going to have a Light Bearer Knight. This is where a tether is really going to come in handy, because there's going to be a lot of adds here. Be aware that an Unstoppable will spawn after engaging with the Lucent Hive, and that you're also going to have a Hive Tomb Ship shooting darts at you, and they hurt more than you think. Trust me. After this wave of enemies, you're just going to have a lot more stuff to kill. You're going to be here for a little while. Again, no big need to push up. Just stay back, kill stuff. Waveframes do work here. Machine guns do work here. Whatever you want to use, just make sure you're focus firing. The only thing to note here is that you should try to kill barrier champions before unstops, at least the very last wave of them, because after you kill the final unstop in this wave, everything despawns, or at least I think it should despawn, and if you don't kill the barrier champions and they despawn as a result of that, you may get gold instead of platinum, which is going to affect your drops. Do note that as of the release of this strike, there is a bug right now where even if you kill all of the champions, you're only capable of getting a gold rating. I've heard some people with some interesting fixes for platinum. I'm not sure. Hopefully a fix just comes along for that soon anyway. The second room is where you need to have a bit more of a planned attack if you don't want to be here forever. This is the room with the 12 burdens from the wizards to collect. The very first burden is pretty easy to get. You're just going to kill the wizard and then dunk it in and then turn around. After dunking it, you're going to have an unstop spawn on the right, a barrier on the left, and loads of acolytes and thrall and all those kind of low tier enemies. Kill the unstop and the barrier immediately, and then just work on the enemies and wizards. I would really avoid areas where you are exposed to enemies or where enemies are spawning in. You should always have some form of cover available, as it is very easy to get surrounded here and just get insta-gibbed. The first 4 burdens are not that hard to get, but note that enemies will be spawning in pretty much constantly. There is no break here. After the 4th burden is dunked, first things first, a Shrieker is going to spawn in the middle of the room, immediately kill it. It's a red bar. You can kill it really fast if you focus fire. Then you're going to rotate over to the opposite side of the room where the next burden dunk area is. Just follow along on screen. In this next wave are 2 light bearer acolytes, and you're also going to have wizards spawning at an increased rate on top of acolytes and on top of thrall. Play around this area that we're in right now, as you do have the high ground, you have cover. Just keep in mind that you're playing exactly where a wizard spawns in, so you really need to pay attention to your sound cues, listening for that wizard spawning in. Your goal here is to kill both light bearer acolytes. One is going to be close by already, and the other one should eventually patrol over to you. You're going to use suspense, you're going to use crowd control, tethers, whatever you got. You're going to stay in cover, and you're slowly going to collect burdens. After killing one of the acolytes, you're now going to start to see orange bar knights spawn in. These guys are really tanky, they hurt really bad. Be sure to focus fire them or hide from them. After killing the second acolyte, you should then focus on getting your next wave of burdens even more. Ideally, you're doing this at the same time as killing the acolytes. Nothing really changes here, just continue to slay out hard. There's going to be a lot to kill, and enemies are going to be tough. After dunking the next 4, you are going to have an unstoppable ogre and a regular ogre spawn out of the nearby doorway. This is a great super opportunity. You want this stuff to die immediately. There's also going to be a barrier champion nearby and a shrieker in the middle too. Continue to play in this same area until those big targets die. Then you're going to slowly rotate over to the final burden area as you're killing these wizards. This part should be done as quickly as possible. Kill wizards as fast as you can as you're rotating over, and just get this done, because now you're going to have ogres spawning in. It just gets really hectic. But also, don't do risky things just to dunk your burdens, because there are going to be a lot of enemies here, and they can kill you as you go up to dunk. Play it safe. Don't try and run across the middle. Don't try and be a hero. Get your burdens, get full HP, maybe get woven mail, then go up and do your dunks. Next part, as you approach the final boss wizard, you're going to have 2 unstoppable ogres. Just kill them, nothing really special here. Then you're going to have 2 wizards and a bunch of acolytes to deal with. Move up after killing the ogres, as a shrieker is going to spawn behind you, but it's not going to attack you unless you get close. The final room is where things can go to hell in an instant. When you start the fight, everyone gets their super. So if you have a super, like Well of Radiance or Shadow Shot, some sort of one-off that you can leave on the ground, you can pop it here and immediately get it back, which is something my team basically abused to our advantage. Now, my team's plan was the following. Pop a well, pop a Shadow Shot, and go to town on the boss until they were immune, killing some enemies along the way. If you do not have the ability to do this, then you are going to need to focus on killing enemies, because you need to give yourself some breathing room, and the start of this encounter, basically the entire encounter really, is littered with enemies. Play towards the back, make sure you have cover. There's no need to take any risks here. At the first health gate, the copy of Savathûn shows up, and this is where your run can immediately just die in a second. Not only does Savathûn show up, but you're going to have an unstop and a barrier spawn in the middle on top of a lot of other enemies coming out of these doorways. If you have supers or anything powerful to burn, now is the time. These are the last champions of the run, and you really don't want this unstoppable ogre running around. My team, we popped that well that we saved in order to kill these champions. We killed anything else that we could while the well is still active, and then we ran away. Savathûn is a beast. Her Storm Trance is incredibly lethal. I could not survive with only 1 arc resistance mod and tier 10 resilience. I survived 1 hit with Woven Mail, not 2 hits. You will not survive in a Well of Radiance without boosted resistances. My recommendation here is to always have a spear in your hand, and that is for 2 reasons. Number 1, third-person camera. Just helps to see, you know, where Storm Trance is going. Number 2, with your grenade button, you can use blink while you have a spear, and this can get you out of trouble. Always have a spear. Use it on enemies when they start to spawn in, and otherwise get Savathûn out of here as fast as you can. This is not a phase you want to stay in for a very long time, as it only increases the chances of you dying to a Storm Trance. The next chunk of health from the boss is basically the same. We did the same strategy of ignore everything, shoot boss. If you don't have a Well of Radiance, then again, you are going to need to play much safer, killing enemies, roaming around, whatever you need to do. Prioritize knights as much as possible, as some of them can be very far away, but still hit you with their guns. After this next chunk of health, my vote is to immediately abandon ship in the middle and move to the left side of the arena, picking up spears as much as possible and using them to kill adds and the new copy of Savathûn. An ogre is also going to spawn in the middle with some adds. If you want to split your team 2 and 1 to tackle that, you can. If you just want to have everyone go insta-gib the ogre with whatever, that works too. The main thing is that you do not stack up so that you can avoid all being insta-gibbed by Storm Trance. The reason I say go to the left is because there are now 2 copies of Savathûn, one on the left, one on the right. If you're far enough away from the right side copy, or whatever copy you're trying to hide from, there is very little chance that that copy can hit you. But if you're in the middle of the arena, you're going to be hit by both. The goal here is to kill the left side copy, or whatever side copy of Savathûn that you want as fast as possible in order to reclaim safe territory. Burn Savathûn as fast as you can, but make adds a priority. Remember, it's rarely the big targets that bring runs to an end. It's not taking the smaller things seriously that can bring runs to an end. Although in this case, it's more like 50-50. After reclaiming your territory, you can plink the other Savathûn from far away. You're basically in no danger here. I don't think the Storm Trance can even really get close to you as long as you're on the opposite side of the arena. After that, burn the boss as fast as possible. If you got a well, use it, use everything you got, but also remember you gotta crush the ghost, so make sure you have a plan to get there without dying. The enemies will despawn as soon as you crush the ghost. Overall, I really enjoy the intensity of this GM. There's lots of slaying to do here, lots of sharp play required, but a good plan of attack means you can tear through it pretty quickly. As always, feel free to leave advice of your own if you'd like. If you ran some sort of a weird comp or something like that you want to share, go for it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.